Seeing that we are now recording, 6:30, I will call the Human Resources Committee to order. Kathy, could I have the roll?
Hicken,
Here.
Lee.
Yes, here.
Barstow.
Here. All the evaluations are in. I think before each HR committee member, I have compiled the scores for the 3 administrative positions. As I recall, and I'll kick this open to discussion, the next step is to deliver, please help me out here, Mr. Barstow, if you remember, deliver the evaluations to the individuals and let them look at them, and then schedule a time to sit down with one or multiple committee members.
That's how we did it last year, I believe.
And so I think that's kind of the point where we're at. Kathy was nice enough to make copies that would suffice to meet that goal. One thing we did do last year is, as you look down the average scores for each individual, scores below a 3.0, last time we wanted to focus on a little bit more and even do professional development, if that's the right word. We don't see anybody with those scores this time, so I think we would forego that unless any one of these individuals requests it from us. I think the next step is to hand these to the individuals and schedule the actual evaluation visits with them. And I would kick it open to you guys for any suggestions or a volunteer or whatever.
I'd be happy to meet with anybody if they wanted. I mean, they can schedule a time, so
Yeah, same. Yeah.
whatever's best.
Yeah,
I
nice,
Tim, I do have a question. I think maybe this is kind of a silly question, but I want to make sure. Mr. Powell did not, for an obvious reason, did not return an evaluation.
That is correct.
Okay.
That's correct. He contacted me and said, hey, look, I've been in here for this long.
Right.
Even if I do these, I'm going to return a DTR for everyone.
Okay.
And at that point, I said, I agree with you.
That's fair.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I was just curious.
So if you don't mind, I would pass these out to the individuals and let them see if we can get a date, and then perhaps email or text the other members to see if they're particularly interested in doing one over another or whatever. If they can make the time, that's great. If that meets with the board's approval or with the committee's approval.
So you're suggesting splitting it up, each one of us meet with one person?
Either that, or and we can break it any way you want. We can all 3 plan to meet with all 3. We can go. I have faith in this committee as it exists that any one of us could sit down and go through these evaluations and just quickly to take a look at exactly. Basically, it takes the form of you give them a chance to ask any specific questions. You probably concentrate a little bit on your own, I have found. You say, this is how I did that. They could put you on the spot and say, what in the world is, like, for instance, if Mr. Barstow could be sitting with Mr. Nicholson, and he could say, what in the world's Hicken thinking here? That's a Hicken question. He'll have to contact me directly, or Mr. Barstow will have to.
But the answer to that question would be sort of obvious.
What's he thinking?
What's Mr. Hicken thinking? Yeah.
So I think if there are no objections, I think that'll be our plan moving forward. Tonight, I would report that they're done, and we're gonna pick a time to get these to the individuals and set up a meeting.
And I don't remember this. Are they going to see the actual evaluations, or are they just going to see the summary?
They're going to see the actual evaluations.
That's what I thought.
And the reason for that is the summary doesn't catch the comments
Right. Okay.
that we put in each section. So that's how we figured out that they needed to read the comments, and I think we all stand by our comments as a council pretty well. So
Tim,
Yes.
a question might come out if you have 2 members of this committee present at the same time with an employee. Is that a meeting?
Yeah.
And we might want to get some direction from Mr. Zetz.
So the question is, do we, thank you for being here, Mr. Zetz. Your evaluations is finished, so you don't need to worry about how you answer this question.
Until next year.
So the HR committee obviously is the three of us. If, for instance, Tom and I wanted to sit with you, would that constitute a quorum? Yes. Okay. So my suggestion would then be that they're done one at a time.
Yeah.
So. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy,
Yep.
Thank you, Kathy.
as always. With that plan, I don't think, are there any other questions or comments from the committee?
No, sir.
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Then in that case, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Kathy, can we have the roll?
Hicken,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Barstow.
Yes.
And that's the way that's done.
That would be
Be awful.
interesting, but I think we might get a little.